Well, this is a familiar sight here at the bottom of Broadway, but only actually for a few more days, really, as the Mannin Hotel is about to be demolished. I'm with Jeff Corkish, tourism hat on here. I mean, there's a lot of criticism that this is coming down. I mean, first of all, they were going to save the front of it, and now they're not. Is this another bit of Douglas's history going?
Certainly history, because the building has been here for so long and served tourism so well over many decades. But nothing lasts forever. And I can only imagine what it must have been like when all these hotels, in the heyday of tourism in the Isle of Man, when it was the leading place for tourism in the northwest of England, certainly it must have been absolute madness and chaos. But here we have a great statement to the future of tourism in the Isle of Man. So I'm totally aware that it's going to cost inconvenience to people and to me, because it's one of the thoroughfares I use to come down to the office. But eggs and omelettes come to mind. What we're going to have at the end of this is a brand new 50-roomed hotel to serve the future of tourism. And isn't that a great statement in the confidence of the industry, which I and the team at Tourism have been trying to instill for so long. This comes on the back, of course, of a new hotel being opened, much smaller hotel, in Ramsey. So I welcome this greatly. This is what we need. This is great for Douglas, for the centre of Douglas, but also certainly for tourism. And of course, when we say it's an iconic building, and we've been used to seeing it for decades, the front of it will remain very much unchanged. It'll be a brand new building behind it, but replicated as you see it here now.
But at the end of the day, you are going to lose this building. That's architecture. I suppose it's not that special, but it is old Douglas. It's the old Isle of Man. That is going, isn't it?
Well, yes, but I think we can look and think, do we want to live in a time warp? And what we're doing is faithfully, what the builder is faithfully doing is replicating the front of this. Now, isn't that the best of both worlds? I would say yes. We cannot live in the past. People who come to the Isle of Man enjoy the charm. We've lots of charm, old world charm in the Isle of Man, but we can't live on that. The people can't live on that. Tourism can't live on that. We have to change with the times, and that dictates the times. People want the very best they can, and again I have to state and stress that you will see virtually the same thing. You know, is that the best of both worlds?
Next to the Central, they did manage to save the front. I mean, it was obviously probably a more expensive option. Wouldn't you say that this is what it's about? The builders trying to get the best and quickest and most economic option on their cars to do a rebuild. Getting rid of the front is going to be cheaper than keeping it.
Unfortunately, the front had to come down, and I was along with the surveyors and had a look at the interior of the building, and it was pretty bad. And there was no way. We tried as best we could. We had people from across came over to see if we could save that building. You've just answered the question, I think, there, that here we see a replication of what has been there and what can be done. And I think this is the best of both worlds. The Mannin Hotel will look like the Mannin Hotel. The great thing for tourism and for those people who will be using it afterwards for various events is that it will be a modern, sparkling new, tremendous facility there for tourism and the future of tourism.
And I suppose, unlike the Central, which became apartments, there is going to be some hotel element to the new build.
Oh, very much so. I'm not sure of the actual breakdown of it, but 50 rooms. And remember, we've got so many people coming to the Isle of Man now who demand high-end accommodation. Now, what I can say with absolute confidence is, and we've been working for this, working with the tourism industry, there are so many people now in the hotel industry, accommodation sector, refurbishing, investing in their properties. That's great. Here we see a tremendous illustration of investment in the future of tourism. That says a lot for the Isle of Man, a lot for the tourism industry. And we've got so many events. We've got brand new golf events coming up now. We've got a TT triathlon coming up next year, end of June next year. And of course the film industry seems to have a shot in the arm too. So we'll have film stars all demanding the very best of accommodation.
You're going to tell me everything's fantastic now in tourism.
No, nothing is, but there's a lot of good news. Bad news, there's bad news everywhere. And we can if you want to dwell on bad news, let's dwell on bad news. But the Isle of Man has not. The Isle of Man has a stoic past and a very ripe future, and I'm very much part of that and want to drive it ahead. That's what we've been striving for, and that's what we're doing. Great to see it.
Well, talking about historic past, we'll just do this now, show you the shots as it is, and we can then do a fade to, I think, about 100 years ago, and really you can hardly see any difference, but whatever you say, there will be obviously a new build there. So let's go back from the old picture back to how it is again today. And if you want to have a look at the Mannin, your last chance as it starts to come down next week.